Hello, hello, hello. It's Adrian, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside, and I'm coming to you with my take on how the signs will be affected by the full moon in Sagittarius, which comes up on the 17th. So it's going to be happening, let's see here, the full moon, and let me just make sure I've got all my facts straight. Did I say that? Was that on 25 degrees, Sagittarius? 25? 25 degrees of Sagittarius? Is that what we're looking at here? I believe so. So where is that going to fall at in your chart? 25 degrees of Sagittarius, 24 degrees, 25 degrees, Sagittarius. So I'm going to go through and discuss these. Of course, these are all general. I don't know what's going on in your actual horoscope chart. But according to this, Aries, this is going to be affecting your house of the God house, spirituality. So we're talking about God, spirituality, the education, let's see, could be affecting your like legal things. We're talking like legal things. Could even be legal documents, even could be court cases. It could have something to do with divorces, even. It could just be clergy. It could be religion. It could be dealing with outside like psychic influences. It could be philosophical beliefs, radical ideas, new changes, new causes and things that are being put forth since it's happening in Sagittarius and in the ninth house. It's very higher consciousness and very cause driven, whatever it is that affects Aries in the month of June during the full moon in Sagittarius. But let's not forget that Sagittarius is trine Aries, and so it's a positive influence and a good positive effect. Okay, so I would say if you needed to get in touch with your God house, with your spirituality, education, even educating yourself about different spiritual things, I think that could be an excellent way of handling the situation. I can tell you on a personal level how this affected me, Miss Aries Progress Rising. I've been just listening to things like, I'll just tell you what's here on my thing here. How to attract miracles using the law of attraction. Confidence, happiness, and motivation. Waterfall sounds and subliminal sessions. Manifest wealth while you sleep. Attract abundance and money. Deep sleep programming. Now, Aries people, we have Neptune in the 12th house. So I hope that you are manifesting while you're sleeping. That is our secret power right now. Okay, Aries risings and Aries-based people. That was your take on the full moon in Sag. Okay. Next, it's Taurus. Hello, Taurus. Hello, Taurus. So, Taurus, this is happening in your 8th house. It's the 8th house of money. It could be sex, death, or taxes, or money, or your partner's money, or it could be deep psychological issues that are like issues or secrets that you might have felt were supposed to be kept, deep issues and secrets that are hidden, but they're not. And I would say that you've got Chiron in the 12th house too, Taurus. So, there is some hidden pain, some secret pain. This could indicate some of that secret stuff because it's the 8th house and it's Sagittarius. So it's a cause there. It's something that you feel like you have to fight or battle there in a way. And Jupiter is retrograde there. So you might feel like you're battling, money issues. It could possibly be, with the sun and Mercury opposing down in Gemini. So I would be cautious of money issues, Taurus. I would, it could be that your partner gets a big deal of money, maybe if you're getting money from your partner. And that is 8th house. It could just be a lot of sex. It is Jupiter in the 8th house. I'm just saying. Okay, Taurus. Next, we have the sign of Gemini. The sign of Gemini. Where is the full moon falling for you, Gemini? Well, that's going to be in the 7th house. The 7th house of partnerships. And you know, it's funny when the full moon is in Sag in the house of partnerships, it just means that you guys might talk and talk and talk about certain things, especially with you having this, you know, there's going to be the sun and Mercury and things in Gemini in the first house. And so you might find that that conversation, you might need to have that conversation, or you might find it difficult to have that conversation with your partner. But whatever happens, the full moon is going to be in the seventh house of partnerships. And since Jupiter is there, although it's retrograding, I don't think it's going to be a bad conversation. I think it'll be a good thing. Maybe you'll spend more time with other people that day. That might be a great way of handling the full moon in Sagittarius and your seventh house of partnerships. Cancer. Well, this full moon is going to be happening in your fifth house. Is this fifth house? How can this be? No, Cancer. Yes, the sixth house. It'll be happening in the sixth house. That's where it's happening. New moon or full moon in the sixth house of Cancer. And so this is telling me that with the full moon there, I feel like you Cancer types need to really make sure that you're paying attention to your health, pay attention to what you're eating, if you have to, go to the doctors, visit the doctors, make sure your health is A1. And if it is, then it might be coming through in your work. It could be the work that you do. It could be people that work for you. It could just be the small things that you do around the house and services that you provide to other people in that way. So either your health or your work in some way, but that's where the full moon is falling. And I would also be really cautious of getting into big debates and fighting over causes at work, like having those conversations with people where someone feels like they have to be right. Yeah, those kind of conversations. So I would avoid those. Okay. All right, Cancer. Leo. Well, this is happening in the fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity, taking chances, gambling, going to the casinos, being an entrepreneur, dancing, just having a good old time. Your fun is going to be illuminated on that day. So when the full moon is in Sagittarius, it's going to be a good, fun partying time for you Leos. And I would also be very cautious about a mishap with pregnancy. Fifth house, full moon. Just be cautious that day. Okay. All right. But it should be lucky. If you're going to take a chance that day. That's a day for taking chances. And the fifth house does rule taking chances. So I hope that you do take a chance on yourself that day. Leos. Okay, next is Virgo. Virgo, your area of the full moon is going to be in the fourth house. This is the house of endings. It's also the house of the home and family. So you may be feeling this emotions in your home and family life on the 17th. And I don't know how it's going to affect your home or your family, really, but that's where the emphasis is going to be. It could just affect like your security, your stability, your sense of security. It could just be that you want to stay home and watch Netflix that day and eat a lot of good food. And maybe you might want to call your mom or be with your mom or something like that day. But just know that's the 17th, and that is the full moon in Sagittarius in your fourth house. Could be opposing your career stuff too. So be aware that something could come up on the 17th that opposes or affects your career stuff. Be aware of that. Libra, this is all happening in your third house of communication. And it's like communication, like emails, texts, writing, calls, letters, stuff like that, webinars even. And also it could be like short distance travel, your neighborhood, your neighbors, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, all of those people, extended family. So that could be part of what's going on that day. But just watch your communication because, like I say, Saggies like to, they like to be right, especially on things that they feel that they know a lot about. And so you might feel like you know a lot about certain things that day and might get into a big conversation, discussion, argument, debate, something like that. Be aware of that communication. All right, Libra? All right. Next is Scorpio. Scorpio. Second house of money. Lord. I hope this means that Scorpios are getting money and not that they got to pay out a lot of money. I hope nobody's messing with your money that day. You get emotional about money. So let's hope that it means that there's money coming in and you're going to be lucky when it comes to money. And I have really good vibes about Scorpio and money on the 17th of June. And I mean, there's money no matter how you look at it. So there's money in the 8th from your partner and money coming from your end. So it's money. Get that money, Scorpio. It is your time. As for Sag, well, it's all happening in your first house, so it's affecting you on a personal level. You might feel like that you are emotional that day, that you have something you have to say, like you've got to get it out. You don't want to feel like you're being stymied or held back, and you've got a cause, something that you really want to talk about, and you're going to make it your issue to speak on it, talk about it, and get the word out about what it is that means the most to you. And so if you've got a secret cause, a secret, you know, just something that is dear to your heart, you're going to find on the 17th, you're not going to be able to hold that back. You're going to want to get it out, speak on it, talk about it, and let the world know how you think. Don't hold it in either on the 17th. So if it is something that you're feeling urged to talk about, by all means, talk about it on the 17th. Don't hold that in. Capricorn, this is all happening in your 12th house. And this is the 12th house of like, things like secrets and excuse me, like secrets. It's hidden things, though. It is not necessarily secret so much as it is hidden things. So it could just be like the deep subconscious things that motivate us, the things that make us do what it is that we do. That's what's being affected that day. So it could be things that could affect us while we're sleeping. It could be something that is, it could be a way that we screw ourselves up too. It could be like, I wouldn't do a lot of drinking, drugging, or doing anything dirty, underhanded, or under the cover. So that day, I mean, that's the day that you really want to stay, I always say, as connected with the earth as possible, so that you don't, go off the deep end on some cause or some belief or something that you feel that you're right about, and it's in the 12th house, so you could be horribly wrong. So definitely I would bite my tongue that day and just wait a day or two before I speak on it, if I were you. Anyway, Cap. Aquarius, this is happening in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes. You've got hopes, dreams, and wishes, and darn it, you're going to make them come true, I hope, on the 17th, because they're foremost in your mind that day. This could just be friends, things that you're doing with your friends, things that you're doing with groups. It could be stuff that you're doing on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. It's a good day for 11th house things, going out, partying with friends, doing things with friends, and just being a part of the group and feeling like you're a part of something bigger than you. And I hope that you take advantage of that feeling, because that's a very expansive feeling for Saggy to have, and especially when it comes to groups and people like that. And the sun and stuff is going to be down in the 5th house. So I think your love life and your partnerships, and maybe even, going out with friends and partners, that's a big thing that day. And Pisces, well, the full moon in Saggy is happening in your 10th house. And that's the 10th house of your career and your reputation and your image and all of those things. So people might be thinking of you, I hope, in a very positive, loving way, because Sag is there and they know that you are probably you have a lot of faith and you're a great believer in things and that you're a positive person. So Pisces, take advantage of this. Of course, Sag squares Pisces. And so, with Neptune in your first house, I could see where those two might get into a debate, or where you might just come off as not being as knowledgeable in a certain subject. Perhaps that could be an issue, or you might want to come off as being more knowledgeable in a certain subject. So I would avoid all of those things where you feel like you have to prove your knowledge or anything like that. I wouldn't even go into that. Also, especially at your work, I would watch that kind of talk at work, especially around the boss. I mean, there's no reason for you to have to prove yourself to your boss if you don't already have the wits or wherewithal to do the things that you want to brag about. I think it's just going to be positive. I mean, Jupiter is retrograding in the 10th. So I think no matter what, with the full moon there, I think it's going to be a positive thing for you, Pisces. And I'm looking forward to it because I've got my sun progressed in Pisces. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Well, I went through that as fast as I could, and I got through it in about 15 minutes, 15 and a half minutes. And I hope that whoever needed to hear that, because I was moved to do that for some reason. But I feel like whoever needed to hear that, I hope you got the message you needed to hear. This has been the full moon through the zodiac signs. Okay. And you have been with Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a Look Inside. If you have not, please like and share and subscribe our videos here on YouTube. And be sure to go by the website at astrologylookinside.com and subscribe to our blog there. And you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/astrologylookinside. And I also give free mini readings at our group on Facebook, which is facebook.com/groups/astrologylookinside. And finally, you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/astrologylookinside. Well, this has been Capricorntigress. I just wanted to come in and say a few things to everyone, sending out much love and much light to all. Blessings and namaste.